Hello, everyone. My name is Seth, and today I'm going to give you my review of Chapter 21 of The Mandalorian. Chapter 21 of The Mandalorian is out, and it is called The Pirate, and I had a good time with this episode. This is the first episode on the back half of the season. So after this, we only have 3 more episodes until the end of this season. That's kind of crazy. It really feels like we just started, but here we are, back half of the season. But before I go any further, go ahead and like the video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can receive notifications when I upload my next video. So the first thing I want to bring up in this episode, because this is kind of a big focus of the episode, is that the action was really well done. I think they nailed the action all season long, and that continues here in this episode. You know, this is where you see in the trailer that the Mandalorians are dropping in to Navarro, and they're trying to help Navarro take back their city from the pirates. And it was cool to see the pirates back again. I was wondering in the first episode how they're going to play in, and this is exactly how they played in. I wish there was a little bit more to do with them kind of throughout the whole season, but I think this does still work, especially because the first mate escapes and he's going off somewhere and we don't know where he's going. My guess is that it has to do with Moff Gideon and maybe eventually Grand Admiral Thrawn. I feel like that's what we're building to. I know I mentioned that before. Anyway, going back again to kind of touch on the action, I think the ship combat was awesome. Like I said, you're probably going to get sick of me saying this, and after this, I probably will be allowed to stop saying this, because we have ship combat back in Star Wars. I have been missing that for a while, and this season of The Mandalorian has definitely brought it back in a big way, and they have done such a good job with this throughout the season, and the ship combat, air combat in this episode was really well done. In that big action sequence, I loved seeing all the Mandalorians work together, and I thought that scene where they were deciding on if they were going to go help or not was really well done too. I thought it was cool. You know, they all had held the hammer, if you want to speak, and I love seeing Din kind of make his point, and then Paz Vizsla goes up and kind of throws you a curveball. You got to think he might go against him, but I love how Paz Vizsla ended up having Din's back. Another big part of this episode was Carson Teva. I loved getting to see that base he was on, and Zeb was there. Zeb from Star Wars Rebels. And I think absolutely he's going to play a part of the Ahsoka series going forward. I really think the Ahsoka series is kind of going to be like a Rebels rebooted kind of thing, you know, like a Rebels season 5, but in live action. And so I think that'll be really cool. But I thought his design was awesome. Like, it looked great. It looked better than I honestly probably could have expected from translating that character from animation to live action. But going back to Carson Teva, one thing I like about him and his character, and you've kind of seen that from the other episodes he's been in the previous seasons, is that he's a kind of guy who wants to take care of problems before they get too big. He sees something, he wants to help people. You know, it's kind of like a no job is too small kind of thing for him. It seems like, to me at least. He wants to make sure if he sees a little tiny problem, doesn't want that to snowball and become a huge problem, which it kind of seems like it will. This is another time where, you know, it's like you're kind of disappointed in the New Republic. You just have the feeling there at the end of Return of the Jedi, we win, everything's over, everything's perfect. And flash forward 40 years, the New Order rises up, and you're kind of like, how does that happen? Well, in some of the books, some of the comics, you can kind of see they've discussed that. Again, hurts my heart a little bit to be disappointed in the New Republic, but not everything in the New Republic is bad. And I think this really helps kind of lay the groundwork for how the First Order was able to rise. The pirate leader, Gorian Shard, he ends up going down with his ship. And I think it's a little bit sad for me because I thought he had such a cool design. And so I was kind of hoping he'd be popping up here and there later on. So doesn't really look like it. But like I mentioned earlier, that first mate got away. And so we'll see what goes on from there. And now it seems like the taking of Mandalore is the goal. It kind of seems like that's where we're going kind of for the end of the season. And again, we only have 3 episodes left after this, so I'm interested to see how they work that out, how they build it up. And I kind of feel like there's a little bit of, I guess, dissonance, I guess I would say, that they go ahead and accept the land on Navarro, said, oh, here's our home, we can live above, out in the open, our kids can see the sunshine, things like that. But in the same episode, you're talking about, let's go take Mandalore. And I understand, it's like, you just got a home, you're going to go back and retake your own home. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's a little bit of dissonance there storytelling-wise. Maybe the rest of the season will end up clearing that up. And then the last little bit there at the end, they find what was Moff Gideon's transport, and he is gone, and it looks like to me that the Mandalorians are being framed. I guess it would make sense for some group of Mandalorians to take him because they didn't think he deserved a trial. They just wanted to go ahead and get it over with. I really think that the Mandalorians are being framed in this instance. And again, I think that'll be interesting to see where they go with that. Again, I'm not quite sure exactly what we're building to here with Gideon. I kind of wish we got to see that on screen, and maybe seeing some of this stuff would give us a better idea of kind of a little bit more of what we're building to down the road, even more than just the taking of Mandalore. But again, I'm going to wait and let the story pan out. Maybe they will answer all of these questions in the last 3 episodes in such a fulfilling way. So I'm going to withhold my judgment a little bit here on this. Again, I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed this season so far, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. So that's it. That's my review of Chapter 21 of The Mandalorian. Go ahead and follow me on social media at CinemaSeth on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, just about wherever you can think of. I'm there. Follow me to, stay involved and to stay up to date, be a part of the conversation. Go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can receive notifications when I upload my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.